And now here's Rick Casey with tonight's Last Word.
What happens when a prosecutor is a lawbreaker, when he cheats to put an innocent person in prison? Such prosecutors are rarely held accountable. They are almost never prosecuted themselves, even when they break the laws, and they rarely are punished by state bar associations. But a San Antonio State District judge is in the thick of what appears to be an unprecedented legal process to investigate a Texas prosecutor who may have won a life sentence for a man by hiding evidence of his innocence. A couple of months ago on this program, we told the story of Michael Morton, the Georgetown grocery manager who spent 25 years in prison for brutally murdering his wife. He was freed after DNA evidence of a bloody bandana found 100 yards behind their house showed the blood was hers, and other DNA on the bandana matched a known criminal who was then tied to the murder of another Austin area woman after Mrs. Morton's death. After the judge in the case, who had for more than 5 years made rulings delaying DNA testing of the bandana, recused himself, Supreme Court Chief Justice Wallace Jefferson appointed San Antonio District Judge Sid Harle to handle the case. It was a good choice. Harle is a highly respected Republican who happens to serve on the Texas Commission on Judicial Conduct. In this case, he would be asked to judge another Republican district judge, Ken Anderson of Georgetown, who had been the district attorney who prosecuted Michael Morton. Morton's lawyers had filed two major arguments for his release. One was based on their hope that the bandana, then being tested, would show Mrs. Morton's DNA and that of a male other than Michael. The other argument was based on the fact that they had discovered documents that supported Morton's innocence. The trial judge had ordered that all such evidence be presented to him for inspection, but it wasn't. This included a transcript of a deputy's interview with the victim's mother, who said her 3-year-old grandson at home at the time of the murders had told her he had seen the monster who killed his mother, and it wasn't his father. There was also evidence that Mrs. Morton's credit card had been used in San Antonio days after her death. When the DNA showed another man almost certainly killed Mrs. Morton, Judge Harle moved quickly to have him released from prison while awaiting final action by the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals. Now, this usually takes a couple of months. And meanwhile, Harle ruled Morton's attorneys could question, under oath, Judge Anderson and others about their actions during the prosecution. To the astonishment of Morton's attorneys, the Court of Criminal Appeals issued their ruling a few days later. Anderson, the former prosecutor, argued that the case was thereby over and Judge Harle had no authority to require him to testify under oath. Harle ruled against his fellow judge, and Anderson appealed. Experts say the decision could have gone either way. There was no precedent for this, but the Court of Criminal Appeals ruled in favor of Harle. And this Monday, Morton's lawyers will present to Harle evidence of misconduct and possibly criminal acts. They are likely to ask Harle to seek a court of inquiry into Anderson's actions. That's the judicial equivalent of a grand jury that could lead to Anderson's indictment. Chief Justice Jefferson would then appoint another judge to conduct that inquiry. If the evidence against Anderson is strong, Harle should do as Morton's attorneys ask. But whatever happens, Judge Harle has already taken rare steps to hold a prosecutor accountable. And that's it for Texas Week. I hope you have a great holiday. We'll be back in January.